What makes a moment controversial? Is it the shock, the unexpected twists, or the sheer unpredictability of events? In the world of UFC, controversies are as much a part of the sport as the fighters themselves. Let's dive deep into the top 10 controversial moments in UFC history that left fans and fighters alike stunned. But before starting the video, hit the subscribe button, give our videos a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the bell button to watch the new video. 10. Greasegate, GSP vs. BG Penn. Could one of the greatest fighters of all time, Georges St-Pierre, have stooped to cheating? In his 2009 rematch against BG Penn, accusations flew that GSP had applied Vaseline to his upper body to neutralize Penn's jiu-jitsu skills. While GSP dominated and won via a fourth-round stoppage, Penn's camp cried foul, claiming the grease made it nearly impossible to lock submissions or sweeps. The controversy raised questions about tactics in MMA, with many left wondering, was it a calculated move or an overblown excuse? Adding fuel to the fire, GSP's camp denied any wrongdoing, calling the accusations sad. However, the incident led to changes in UFC rules, ensuring corners couldn't apply substances that might give their fighters an edge. To many fans, this moment remains a blemish on GSP's otherwise stellar career. Beyond the outcome, it highlighted the thin line between gamesmanship and outright cheating in MMA, further intensifying debates over fighter ethics. 9. Stoolgate, Yoel Romero vs. Tim Kennedy. What happens when the clock becomes your biggest ally? At UFC 178, Yoel Romero faced Tim Kennedy in a fight that teetered on chaos. After nearly being finished at the end of the second round, Romero's corner delayed the start of the third by leaving him on his stool longer than allowed. The extra time let Romero recover and secure a TKO victory early in the next round. Fans and commentators alike were outraged. The delayed restart, coupled with excessive Vaseline applied to Romero's face, was seen as a blatant bending of the rules. While Romero's win stood, the incident raised questions about officiating and fairness in high-stakes fights. The controversy didn't just stain the fight but sparked discussions about the need for stricter oversight of fighter corners. Critics argued this loophole compromised the sport's integrity, leaving fans and athletes demanding stricter enforcement. 8. Khabib's retirement fight weigh-in controversy. Could Khabib Nurmagomedov's unbeaten legacy be tainted? Ahead of his fight with Justin Gaethje at UFC 254, Khabib's weigh-in sparked controversy. As the scales needle moved upwards, the official hastily declared him on weight without letting it stabilize. Fans and experts questioned whether Khabib had truly made the 155-pound limit. Despite the weigh-in drama, Khabib delivered a dominant performance, submitting Gaethje in the second round and retiring undefeated. Yet, the weigh-in fiasco lingered, with skeptics arguing it tarnished the legitimacy of his final fight. Even so, Khabib's retirement marked the end of an era, with his legacy celebrated but not without scrutiny. The weigh-in incident remains a controversial footnote, fueling debates about favoritism and regulatory loopholes in MMA. 7. Ronda Rousey's media blackout. What happens when a star refuses to shine? Ronda Rousey's 2016 return against Amanda Nunes at UFC 207 was marred by her refusal to participate in any pre-fight media obligations. While Dana White backed her decision, calling it a way to focus solely on training, critics saw it as a sign of fragility after her devastating loss to Holly Holm. Rousey's silence built tension but also alienated fans. When Nunes dismantled her in under a minute, the fallout was swift and brutal. To this day, Rousey's media blackout remains a polarizing moment in MMA history. The incident also marked a shift in Rousey's public image, from an unbeatable champion to a fighter overwhelmed by the spotlight. Her lack of engagement left fans wondering what could have been if she had handled the situation differently. 6. CM Punk's UFC experiment. Was it ambition or arrogance? When WWE superstar CM Punk announced his transition to MMA, fans were curious but skeptical. The UFC signing him directly without any prior MMA experience felt more like a publicity stunt than a legitimate sporting decision. Punk's debut against Mickey Gall at UFC 203 ended in a first-round submission, showcasing his lack of readiness for the big leagues. His second fight against Mike Jackson didn't fare much better, ending in another loss. While Punk's effort was commendable, his UFC stint highlighted the dangers of prioritizing marketability over merit in combat sports. For fans, it served as a stark reminder of the level of skill required to compete in the UFC. Despite his shortcomings, Punk's journey inspired discussions about chasing dreams, regardless of the odds. 5. Francis Ngannou's UFC departure. What happens when the baddest man on the planet walks away? Francis Ngannou's exit from the UFC in 2023 was fraught with drama. After a dominant win over Cyril Gane, Ngannou revealed that his contract negotiations were marred by UFC threats, including potential lawsuits for meeting with Jake Paul's business associates. Despite Dana White's public criticism, Ngannou left the organization to pursue other opportunities, including a high-profile boxing match against Tyson Fury. His departure underscored long-standing issues between fighters and the UFC over pay and freedom, making him a symbol of athlete empowerment. His decision to prioritize independence over fame resonated with many fighters seeking better conditions. Ngannou's journey remains a pivotal moment in the fight for athletes' rights. 4. Ariel Helwani's lifetime ban. When does journalism cross the line? At UFC 199, veteran reporter Ariel Helwani was escorted out of the venue and handed a lifetime ban for breaking the news of Brock Lesnar's UFC 200 return before the promotion's official announcement. Dana White accused Helwani of spoiling a carefully planned reveal, while Helwani argued he was simply doing his job. The backlash from the M&A community was swift, forcing the UFC to lift the ban. However, the incident revealed the tension between media freedom and promotional control in the sport. It also exposed the fragile relationship between media outlets and organizations that demand loyalty over transparency. Helwani's perseverance in the aftermath cemented his reputation as one of the most fearless journalists in M&A. 3. Nate Diaz vs. Khamzat Chimaev weight debacle. Could chaos be the best marketing strategy? At UFC 279, Khamzat Chimaev missed weight by a staggering 7.5 pounds ahead of his fight with Nate Diaz. The card was thrown into disarray, leading to a reshuffle that saw Diaz face Tony Ferguson instead. Chimaev's lack of professionalism drew heavy criticism, overshadowing what could have been a marquee matchup. While the reshuffled bouts delivered entertainment, the weight miss tarnished Chimaev's reputation and raised concerns about fighter discipline. Critics questioned whether such drastic weight misses should carry harsher penalties. Despite the drama, Diaz's final UFC appearance left fans with a satisfying conclusion, overshadowing the controversy. 2. Conor McGregor's bus attack. When does height go too far? Ahead of UFC 223, Conor McGregor and his entourage stormed a Brooklyn arena, attacking a bus carrying Khabib Nurmagomedov and other fighters. McGregor's actions, including hurling a dolly at the bus, resulted in injuries to fighters Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg, leading to their removal from the event. McGregor's arrest and subsequent legal issues made headlines worldwide, but the incident also set the stage for his grudge match with Khabib at UFC 229. While it remains one of the most infamous moments in UFC history, it also highlighted the dark side of promotional theatrics. The fallout demonstrated how far the line between rivalry and recklessness could blur in combat sports. 1. Khabib vs. McGregor post-fight brawl. Could a fight spill beyond the octagon? At UFC 229, Khabib Nurmagomedov's victory over Conor McGregor was overshadowed by the chaotic brawl that followed. After submitting McGregor, Khabib leaped into the crowd to confront McGregor's team, sparking a melee that saw both camps trade punches. The Nevada State Athletic Commission handed out fines and suspensions, but the incident underscored the bitter rivalry between the fighters. Despite the controversy, UFC 229 became the promotion's highest-grossing event, proving that even chaos has its market value. The brawl cemented the feud's place in M&A history, blending sport and spectacle in unprecedented ways. So, what do you think? Could you feel the ripple effects of these controversies shaking the UFC to its core? Which of these UFC controversies shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more eye-opening stories and insights.